Hey everyone, so today I'm going to be reviewing 2019 The Lion King. Yeah, so it has a whole cast full of people that I can't pronounce their names, so we're not even going to bother. Sorry, you can look them up. I did, and I can't pronounce them, so there you go. The ones I do mention, I can pronounce, so. Um, yeah. You know how in Scream Queens, how that girl has the frozen face syndrome? Oh my god, I'm so excited. Well, that's kind of how the characters are in this movie. They say they might say that they feel some sort of emotion like anger or sadness, and they show nothing. So, you know, look, I'm so sad. Sad. I finally went and seen the movie Lion King, the live action. And the original is one of my favorite movies of all time, as well as Aladdin. So I was already skeptical about Aladdin, but I actually really thought I was hoping that Lion King would be really a great adaptation, especially with the visual effects. They're stunning and amazing just from looking at the trailers. Um, and they are throughout the film. Um, with the movie, as soon as the sun rises and I was getting a little teary, but that was because it brought back memories of my childhood watching it with my parents and everything. Um, and then it wasn't as flattering and mesmerizing as I was wanting it to be. Um, like I said, the visual effects are amazing. Some of the best I've seen because it looks so realistic. Um, and for the most part, it is enjoyable because they add a little bit here and there, but not enough really to really like half of it's done shot for shot like we done from the original, and this pumpkin say hello. Hello. She loves Lion King too, and she loves Still in the Spotlight. No one wants to see her furry ass. One problem, starting from the trailer, I already had kind of an issue with the voices. I could tell they wouldn't really land, really, for their characters. Um, like the voice for Scar, I didn't care for the actor or the way it was portrayed compared to Jeremy Irons. James Earl Jones reprising his role as Mufasa, which is always a treat, but he he basically has as much screen time as he does in the cartoon, which I was hoping they would show more of him, really, in this film, considering it was longer. Um, but yeah, it's basically just about the same amount of screen time, and um, aside from James Earl Jones, I really didn't care for much of the voice cast. I mean, Beyonce wasn't bad actually as Nala. And then Seth Rogen as Pumbaa was actually not bad, but he basically has the right laugh for Pumbaa, I guess. Kind of deep voice, but has a good sense of humor. And he pretty much brings this humor into the movie, which aside from him and uh, Timon, there is really not much humor, which is one of the next problems, is that the original had so much comedy in it, even though it was like a very serious, at times, Disney film, but also knew how to have fun too and mixed it up well with the comedy and drama. As many of you have heard already from other people, is that they really isn't much emotion shown in the characters, which is true. John is fine with that, because if it was taken like to be like a real uh, lion on camera, they wouldn't be doing all this or over the top movements, like Nathan Lane would as in Timon, or Whoopi Goldberg as Shinzi or whatever, um, or Cheech and Chong as Ed, um, but the talents now, like they're talented actors like Danny Glover or Donald Glover. Sorry, I was confused them too, and it's just no one really seemed to really be trying to read the lines, like to where it's like they're really invested into it. Um, and it's really sad because like with Nala's scenes, I thought she did really good, and even um, like even with Matthew Broderick as an actor, outside of Lion King, I don't really like him at all as an actor. And I've seen him in several things like Glory and Inspector Gadget and you know Fresh Bueller's Day Off. He was okay in that, but I didn't love him. Um, yeah, I really don't like him as an actor, but as far as his voice goes in The Lion King, I thought he was just fine and did pretty good. Um, but with this, Danny Glover is just like he really wasn't given much to do either. Like again, his character had just as much screen time as the cartoon, which you would think it would have been given more screen time, considering the movie is longer and they're trying to develop more of a story. With um, like Scar and the Pride Lands and some of the other lioness characters. Um, and how I was kind of worried about going on this about the Be Prepared song to be, just cut off abruptly, like how people have been saying, which it wasn't as abrupt as I thought it'd be. Like he does sing like some of the song, and it does kind of come to a halt pretty abruptly, but at the same time, um, it gets the gist of the song's meaning basically. And it comes to an end. It doesn't have an ending for the short song. It's probably about, I don't know, maybe 30 seconds. No, it's probably a little longer than that, but it does go by pretty fast. And that's another problem I had is that the songs, uh, I don't know, I just didn't care for it honestly, and it's a shame because I really do love Disney adaptations like Beauty and the Beast and um, the other later ones that came out like in Jungle Book, but I think that's because they're adaptations of films that I wasn't particularly in love with. Like I like the cartoons, but not like they're the best thing in the world since sliced bread. Um, but with Lion King and Aladdin, that's like my two top favorite movies, or Disney movies, or movies in general. Um, and it just sucks that they didn't really seem to give much effort outside of the visuals, which I'm sure that's what they're going for, and they're going to try to get best visual effects as they won for the Jungle Book, which they deserved. Um, but there really wasn't much change to anything. Like I said, it was like basically shot for shot, and then, um, what they did add in, it really doesn't. It really wasn't much. Like, for example, um, with Shinzi being the lead of the hyenas, I mean, it was kind of like just there and didn't really change. Like, it doesn't change anything. And with the death of Mufasa, spoilers, which we all know that's gonna happen, you know. But then it's so iconic in the cartoon where Jeremy Irons basically just grabs onto, Mufasa like this. I'm gonna use her as my prop. Mufasa like this and just throws her off. Just throws her off of the cliff, or him. But and this one, Scar basically just bitch slaps him off to the cliff, which is like, hey. I'm like, you didn't have to change that part. If you're gonna change anything, do something else. Not that scene. And again, Jonathan Taylor Thomas was a hell of a lot better of a young Simba than this other newcomer. But who actually wasn't bad. He read his lines well and it was believable. And then you got Scar basically wanting Mufasa's wife to be his queen, and we had the mentioning of how Scar got in a fight with Mufasa before, or got stopped before, about, being king, and that's where he supposedly got his scar. They're hinting at it. Ow, bitch. Definitely take your kids. They will love it. Because they weren't, growing up seeing The Lion King, so I think that will have a huge effect on this. And I think they will like it, because I still had a good time watching the movie. But I was already hesitant anyway, because I thought, movies like this that are already flawless anyway shouldn't be remade, which technically it was remade because, it was based on Kim of the White Lion, and it's kind of a ripoff, but still, anyway, it's still a good one. Like, the characters are so iconic already, and it's like, you can't touch this. If you ever come near my son again. Where's your son? Did you know it? No, of course not. Ed? Long live the king. Long live the puss. The puss. Say bye to my pussy.